kina semdol ka ke mo fa seda.
We are wanderers, neutral and in service to all of New Eden. We rescue the lost and light the way through Thera. We sail forbidden seas. Come explore with us. Signal Cartel. Can't stop the signal.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday to everybody. I am Kenneth Feld, and I am your host for today's show. For you guys expecting rain, I'm sorry, but you get me instead. Oh well, c'est la vie. Well, this week has been definitely a topsy-turvy week for the game. Havoc expansion launched. We're going to talk about that a little bit. CCP has done some really cool things and something I would consider not real cool. I know that a lot of the player base is upset about it. Some are probably very happy about it, but we'll go over that a little bit. And then had a little skirmish yesterday in Cloud Ring, depending on how you look at it. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. And hopefully by then an hour's gone by, or you guys can sit here and listen to me try and sing and dance for the rest of the time. If one of you guys can remind me at the half-hour point, I'll go ahead and throw up a contest for a skin. I don't know what we have left. I need to look. We'll pick a good one for today. Let's see here. Giveaways. We could probably do a Vedmak skin. Somewhere around there. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like once we're getting there. Okay. Now for the really good stuff. Let me make sure I get the right image here. Bam. Right there. CCP is giving everybody 7 days free Omega time. That is every account, whether you're Alpha or Omega. So the way it works is if you're Alpha and you redeem it, you have 7 days from the time you redeem it. That's pretty straightforward. If you're Omega and you redeem it, all it does is add 7 days to your Omega time. So if you're paying by credit card every month or whatever, it will shift your time 7 days. And if you're paying by Plex, it's 7 more days before you have to Plex again. And if you have your account for a year or whatever, it'll just add 7 days to it. Awesome. Glad they're doing this. It is great to see them allowing people to go Omega after a big patch and see if maybe it's something they want to try and continue on. Really happy that they're doing it. Consequently, at the same time, they have put up a sale on some packs. Now, this is something that they normally do. Nothing crazy here as far as the packs go, but we're going to take this image down and then we're going to look at this. There we go. Okay, so this is the second part. This is where the 7-day Omega is, and it is available by the 20th of November. Okay. So tomorrow at downtime. So if you have not redeemed your 7 days of free downtime, you basically have what? 1,700 now, so 6. You have 18 hours left, or less than 18 hours. You have 17 hours and 50 minutes left to redeem your 7 free days. Okay? So we're getting to you at the last minute because it's a Sunday show, but you have 17 hours and 50 minutes. And I'll go over real quick how to do it. Let's see, we got to close this and then open this. And all you do, anyway, go down to your New Eden store right here. And click on your 7 days of free Omega right there and click on free. That's all you have to do. Now, I have saved this account all week so that I can do it live, because I want to do it earlier and not be able to show this for subsequent shows during the week. But you click on that, you click on free, it says you're processing your purchase, and bada bing, bada boom, done. You have 7 days added to your Omega time for free. Okay, that's all you have to do. Okay, now let's close this again, because that's something for later in the show. Let me bring this back up and go back to here. Okay, so that's a good thing. The bad thing that they did, in my opinion, was they put this Genolution Days Collector Pack is now available in the Eve store. Okay, that includes some skins and this Genolution Oral AU79 implant, which was promised to be unique during the second decade collector's kit. So the only way you could get this implant, which basically turned your pod golden, was to buy the second decade collector's edition. And it was a code that you redeemed, and then you got the item in game. And they were selling at sometimes upwards of 20 billion ISK. I think they had calmed down to like 8 or 10 billion now for the people who still had them and had not injected them yet. But now they're selling them, and doesn't say how much here. And they even tout the fact that you get a unique implant, permanently turns your capsule a shiny golden color. Now, granted, the people who bought the collector's edition had it for 10 years, but nevertheless, you know, at the time we were told it was going to be, you know, unique. And they could have made it any color. They could have made it silver. They could have made it platinum. They could have made it freaking turquoise, whatever. Why did they have to make it the exact same as the collector's edition from 10 years ago and basically devalue that for the people who bought it 10 years ago? It's okay to have things in game that aren't achievable anymore, right? You don't have to rehash everything, especially something that was limited edition and unique to the 10-year collector, whatever, the second decade collector's pack. So I thought that was a really crappy move by their part, but I don't make the decisions. And for those, you know, that are wondering, obviously I'm not on the CSM anymore. I doubt the CSM was even told about this. If they were probably told the morning that the sale went live, hey, by the way, we're doing this, you know, have a nice day. But no sense complaining to them. They most likely had nothing to do with it. Yeah, 10 years ago, that's what I said. It has been 10 years, but they have a chance to do a different one this 10 years, right? You could do silver or platinum and basically anything but rehashing the old one. So I imagine that the people that saw other people's gold pods and were happy about it are glad that this is coming out and they can get it. However, if you go to the Eve store, you'll notice that it is $70 for this pack to get your gold pod along with some skins. So I'm not sure how, you know, that's quite expensive for that, especially when for the same money or a dollar more, you can get 1,350 plex, another Glamouroo booster, which was this past week's Twitch drop, which Twitch drops are on this weekend. It is a what do you call those, Galnet crates, which contain almost anything, and then skill points, and then the same skins and the same. So anyway, I'm sure some people will be happy, some people will be upset about it. I'm not like upset. I just think it was kind of a bad move on their part. But then again, it's their game. They can do what they want. So there you go. Oh, no doubt. I don't mind them. I've never said anything about them selling stuff. I just wish they'd sell different things. That's all. Right, Bane, that's my point. If someone bought it 10 years ago and they said, hey, this is limited, unique run, no more, and then 10 years ago, oh, well, it's been 10 years, maybe they'll forget about it, right? So whatever. I don't agree with it, but there you go. Now to get on to the good stuff. Havoc. This is the patch notes for Havoc. We're just going to go over them real quick because I kind of did it on Tuesday, but we'll go over it again a little bit. This was the patch where you can align with the pirates. You can either join as a corp, obviously, or you can direct enlist into either the Angel Cartel or the Gristas. So the Angel Cartel, the big draw there is the new Azrael Titan. As far as the Gristas, they added the Komodo, the Loggerhead, and the, I forget the Dread. What's the Dread's name? Anyway, they added the Gristas Dread to the Gristas LP store, and Angel has the Angel items and the Azrael Titan on their LP store. And this is new LP. It isn't the same as the old LP. No, the VMN is green. That's Serpentis. These LP stores are the new LP for faction warfare. Okay, so everyone on Tuesday started off with 0 LP. There was no banking LP for 2 years or anything like that. It's a brand new corp for Gristas and a brand new corp for Angel, and everyone had 0 LP. So enlisting with the pirates gives you perks in Zarzak, jump clones, a few other things. Basically, the general perks of it are pretty minor, but that's to be expected. The one thing that they did let loose, the Fulcrum now has a 6% ME and a 70% TE bonus when manufacturing any subcapital Angel or Gristas pirate ship. So that's roughly the equivalent of a Tech 2 Saudio and Nullsec being able to manufacture in Zarzak. The only problem is getting the materials and stuff into Zarzak to build there is, quite risky. So it's, I guess it's a good bonus for running that risk a little bit, but you can buy the blueprints there so you don't have to ship the blueprints anywhere. And also too, the SCC commission for industry job is reduced by 90% in the Fulcrum. So your job cost is also going to be low. Jump Clone Bay can only be used by people that are aligned with one pirate faction or the other. And same thing, the offices can only be rented by corporations who join. So if you directed list, you can't rent an office for your corp. You can only do it if your entire corp joins the pirate faction. All right. So the other thing is they turned on the shipcaster. So now the shipcaster works. The way that works is it goes through, there's 3 different stages, but one stage kind of repeats. So it goes into a charging stage, and then it goes to the Angel Cartel beacon. And the charging stage lasts 60 seconds. Then it goes to the beacon for 60 seconds. Then it charges for 60 seconds. And then it goes to the Gristas beacon. Then it charges for 60 seconds, goes to the Angel beacon, charges for 60 seconds, goes to the Grista beacon, and back and forth. So every other minute it goes to one beacon or the other. So you just have to, it's got a pretty neat little UI that pops up above it that shows you which phase it's in and that kind of stuff. So pretty easy to figure out, but little part that you have to play there to make sure that you hit it right. So this just kind of talks about the insurgencies. We've gone over this several times. These are the different type of plexes that you can run to add. Now here's where we get into corruption and suppression. So this is where basically the bonuses you get for either the pirates invading or for repelling the pirates. And most people have figured out that the lower ones aren't all that beneficial. They are kind of meh at most. But all of them, as you go up, suppression and the increased bounties or the increased PvP loot drops go up as you go along. And these faction and criminal NPCs stop spawning in high-sec systems. These insurgencies can spread to high-sec systems if it meets a bunch of criteria, which we've already talked about. We're not going to go into again. But there is a possibility of them spreading into high-sec. And then for the suppression, it's increased security gains. And then you work your way up to, it doesn't really add much. It just the systems themselves start spawning NPCs, which are aligned to the current pirate faction, and they will help you. So at level 2, Guristas or Angels will spawn in that system and will help you fight off the Empire people. And, you know, for the suppression, you get militia LP gains. You work your way up. It's kind of the same thing, just better, but each one adds a little unique system. So the one thing that it does is once you get to stage 3 suppressions, your corruption gains are reduced by 30%. And both of these can go on at the same time. You can be level 5 corruption, level 5 suppression in the same system. So, and then the insurgency system, the spawns will start roaming around and help the militia. So now you have NPCs helping the militia, NPCs possibly helping the pirates. And once you get to level 3 of insurgency, of corruption, it will spread to other systems. That's where the high sec may come into play. So then you go to 4. Basically, the roaming pirates just get stronger, but pirates get a +2 AU warp speed bonus, and Empire get 10% bonus to the range of webs and scrams. And then max suppression, the sentry guns turn into, or they add elite sentry guns next to it that do target painting and ECM. And then level 5 for corruption. Basically, if it goes to low sec, if you're in a low sec system that goes to level 5 corruption, you can now, sentry guns will ignore everything. That's only the sentry guns. The elite sentry guns will still operate as normal. But that's only if you're level 5 suppression and corruption. If you're just level 5 corruption, it turns off the sentry guns. You can use Hictor bubbles, Dictor bubbles, and bombs and bomb launchers. So all that stuff basically makes it pseudo nullsec in that system. And if it were to spread to high sec and you get corruption 5 in high sec, basically Concord's like, nope, we're done. You can have it, and Concord will not respond anymore. So if you get anything in a system that's in high sec and they push it to level 5 corruption, you can kill structures and all that kind of stuff with absolutely no penalties whatsoever. The only time that Concord will respond is if you pod someone in a system that used to be high sec. Then they will still come after you. But if you don't pod anyone, Concord's like, nope, we're out, we're done. Alvaron, so I was on the CSM for all the Zarzak stuff. Meetings started about 18 months ago. I can't go into too much stuff because obviously I'm still under NDA for 5 more years. But I can tell you this, the CSM as a whole was worried significantly about having a superhighway that would allow an entity to go from venal to curse to fountain in less than 10 jumps, right? So Alva Salonian, whatever, is like a bridge and 2 gates for in it. And up in venal, Frat can go like a bridge and a jump or something and be at the gate of HPA, and then go down to Zarzak, and then take the gate to Alba Salonia and that kind of stuff. That type of mass rapid transit that's unfettered, I don't think is good for the game, personally. And that's about all I can say about that. So, oh, pirates can absolutely attack people in high sec. And so if you join the Angels, you are permanently at war with Amar and Mimitar? No. Kaldari and Glinty. Yeah, so Amar and Mimitar. You're permanently at war with Amar and Mimitar. If you join Garistas, you're permanently at war with Kaldari and Galente. So any of those folks, you can shoot in high sec at any time. And what's really, really weird, the way these insurgencies work, and we'll talk about it in a second when we look at the map, because those pirate factions have taken the systems away from the faction warfare sov holders. So now Kaldari and Galente are fighting each other in faction warfare, but now both of them have to fight off the pirates. So at some point in time, maybe the pirates come and they go to a Galente system, into a rearguard system. Well, so they open up all these other front lines and command operations systems. Well, now Galente has more areas where they can try and take Sov, or they help the pirates out, kill the Kaldari guys, and then the pirates expand and start taking systems away from Kaldari. And then once the pirates leave, they just leave, and all the systems go back to zero. So then the Kaldari can come in and take those systems for themselves, and it's a lot, it'd be like in nullsec where a group just goes in and removes all the iHubs like they did in the Southeast and said, okay, it's free for all, do whatever you want. That's kind of exactly what the pirates are doing. When they are done with their insurgency and they pack up and leave, all the systems that they have taken over, just poof, they just go away. They don't revert back to their previous owner. They're just neutral now. And whichever side can get in there and take the iHub, then now that system belongs to them in faction warfare. Yeah, no caps can go through Zarzak. No caps can take the gate into Zarzak. No caps can be built in the Fulcrum. So there's no way, unless it changed, dreads and carriers can use I don't think so. Now, when it first started, and you'll have to forgive me here if I'm, I don't know if I should say anything, because I don't remember what was on Sissy and what wasn't. Now, yeah, I don't want to say anything. So, but there might have been something in there for the opening or whatever, and GMs can do kind of, different things and all. But yeah, I, as far as I know, no caps are allowed in Zarzak. I think in Orca and freighters are the largest things allowed. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just kind of reading the comments here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a bug or not, but I would be surprised, and if I saw one in there, I would write a bug report for sure. All right, so these are kind of the LP store prices. They're about 80% less than what they are in the regular LP stores. So quite a lowering here. The Azrael and the Komodo are 150 million LP and 150 billion ISK. And if you value your LP at 1,000 ISK per LP, which is pretty close to what most of them work out to be on average, now some are going to be more, some are going to be yes, then that would make those BPOs about 300 billion. And The first one has already been posted. We'll talk about that here in a second. So the new pirate ships, we've already gone over them. Okay. The patch notes we just went over, but some of the extra patch notes, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, repair services on the fobs was messed up originally. They fixed that. Yeah, they fixed standings because everybody kind of had even standings. The Seminoni gate to Athunin is now a permanent gate. Anyone who didn't get that, and it is, they removed this from the blacklist now because that gate was being turned on and off. So now that gate's permanent, and that's a permanent transfer. So they added it to the autopilot permanently. Yeah, there we go. The faction warfare map that is permanently connected. A couple things that also got fixed during this patch. The faction warfare in general, when you took a shipcaster, you basically landed in a killing zone, right? Oh, wow. Why does that look fuzzy? Does my screen look fuzzy to you guys? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, you basically landed in a killing zone, right? Those things would be camped and people would be just wailing on the minute that you landed. What they did was they increased the sphere size that you can land in, and there's also NPCs now to protect it. Okay, so that's one thing that they did there, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback on that. So I'm glad that's working out for people. All right, let's start the giveaway now so that I can get that started while we talk about the rest of the stuff. All right. So what did we say we're going to do? A VedMac? We'll do a VedMac. A good host would have already had this started before the show, but you know, you got me today, so there you go. Well, they did this yesterday. I started it, but then it didn't start. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. Giveaway is live. We'll have the giveaway go for 20 minutes. So exclamation point ticket to enter for a VedMac skin. Okay. So we've kind of talked about, we've talked about all the stuff here. Now, let's see, before we get into something else, let's kind of talk about the fight yesterday. Anyone here from down south that listens to Jeff Foxworthy when he talks about the Olympics in Atlanta? Dear Lord, please be with our guests and prepare them for the butt whooping they are about to receive. Well, Pan Fam got it handed to him yesterday pretty handily. Started off Pan Fam, and I'm purposely saying Pan Fam here, and I'll talk about it when we get to the battle report. Pan Fam anchored a Fortizar in Cloud Ring that was like 3 jumps from Init Sov and a bridge and 2 jumps from Fountain. So Init was probably not really keen on letting Pan Fam have a fort that close to their home. And with their response, they part out, that pretty much bears fruit. So here is the battle report. As you can see, it was in the system of WTAC 4. Actually, this started at 1600. It actually started a little after 1500. Let's see if that changes much. Not much died in the first little bit anyway. But, so here we go. So the initiative and Imperium side, if you add those two numbers together, total about 1,300 pilots, roughly. No, 2,300. Sorry, God. it's early, 2,300 pilots. And what'd you say? Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I am horribly bad at who goes on what side, and I did just rebuild it, so it may have moved it around. But so either way, it's about 2,300 on one side and about what 1,250, so about 1,250 on the other side. So after it's all said and done, the Imperium and the Initiative had roughly a 2-to-1 advantage. So yeah, and so that's the reason I put it. So the fight was really against the Initiative and PanFam. So I put Goon Swarm and the Imperium here, you know, kind of as a third party. And then Fraternity and a lot of Winter Co. and that kind of stuff were also a third. I guess Siberian Squads is kind of part of them too, I think. I don't really know. Slice, I don't know who they're. I don't care. There's only 30 of them. Anyway, so this is kind of, you know, the third party over here and the third party over here. And it was really PanFam and Initiative fighting. Yeah, I'm sure there's some missing, but, you know, you can only go with the data that you got. Not much you can do about that. So this was the fight. Obviously, the Imperium and Initiative side, they lost about 110 billion, somewhere around there. And the PanFam side and Winter Co. was about 310 billion. So when I get off the air yesterday, this stuff was not anywhere close. And I figured it would be about 180 to 200 billion difference between the two. And I'm still sticking to that, you know, maybe a little bit here and there, but by and large, it's about 195 billion difference right now. And a lot of that came down to two things. So three things. One was the obvious 2-to-1 numbers advantage, and the fact that the Initiative and Imperium had to shoot the Fortizar in order to kill it. Now, they put drones on it and used their guns to shoot each other, but still that's DPS that was taken away from shooting each other. But at the very end, there was about 25 or 30 caps on grid from PanFam and a few from Winter Co. Winter Co. was mostly faxes for their Tempest fleet, but nevertheless, there was a few caps on fleet. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing flashes of them jumping out. They weren't bubbled. And then on top of that, the what were blue to me fleets at the time, the NC, or not the NC, but the one of the two Nightmare fleets started warping out, and the Tempest fleet issues for Winter Co. warped off. There was one Nightmare fleet left on grid, and they were bubbled pretty good, and they started burning away from the fort at full speed. Well, it turns out that Jay Amazingness, I think, was in that fleet. I'm almost certain he was in that fleet because I was told after by some friends of mine and goons that Jay was in that fleet and they wanted to kill Jay. So, and that's great. I understand the reason why. We don't need to rehash that and all that stuff, but they went after him. Unfortunately, they warped in a bunch of sabers and they started bubbling all of the dreads and a few of the faxes that were left on field. Good on them, they can't jump out. I don't think what they realized is that fort, even though it hadn't repaired yet, was still online. And one by one, I just started seeing the dreads disappear from my overview, and I clicked on the fort, and as the dreads disappeared from overview, the number of people docked would go up by one. And so essentially, instead of sticking around and trying to get points on the dreads, once that Nightmare fleet, which was killing the last of the Hicks that were on field, which they said that they got tons of Hicks killed, but I only see about 6 or 7 total on the battle report. But if they would have pointed those, they couldn't have docked. but by not pointing them and chasing down J, they essentially let 100 to 150 billion ISK walk away unscathed, right? Because as soon as those dread pilots could dock and they logged out, once the fort was killed, they're still alive, they're still in their ship, they just get tossed out into the system to a random safe. And since then, we've logged them back in and gotten them back to safety. So I guess it's worth it. We'll look at Jay's kill here. So that's Jay's kill. They 2.23 billion Nightmare. And then when his Nightmare died, he got into his Succubus and they killed the Succubus. But one thing I don't see here is the pod kill. I don't see, there's a chance it got killed and he's not in ESI, but I think most people were, but either way, I would think they would go after the pod kill for the memes, but for whatever reason, it is not showing up in Z kill. So there's not much we can do about that until someone either manually puts it up or puts in their ESI. Oh, is there a bunch of Pan Fam on there too? That's all initiatives so far. I don't see any Pan Fam. Let's see. There's a couple Horde on there. Couple Horde. Yeah. There's a few on there. You never know. That could be from almost anything. They could have shot him earlier in the day, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, maybe. But, you know, out of the number of pilots that are on there, what, 247 involved, there was probably only 20 that weren't, that were Pan Fam. So, yeah. The Nightmares had smart bombs. Yeah, okay, so that's probably what it was. Yeah, okay. So that really doesn't mean anything whatsoever. And that checks because their damage was like 145. Let's see, where were some of them? Yeah, 37, 37, 37. Yeah, so that's definitely smart bombs there. Yeah, 40, 40, 40, 40. Yeah, okay, so that's all that was smart bombs. Yeah, you'll have that in those big jobs. Not much you can do about it. Okay, so back to the battle report here. Back to what I was talking about before. Oh, wait, we need to go to the summary. If you look at the summary and you go down, let's see, devoters, one devoter. That was it for init. For Imperium, let's see, there was 2 Onyx, 2 Broadsword, 4 devoters. That does not constitute a lot. They should have had, instead of bringing in all those sabers, they should have brought in a lot more picks and got those guys pointed. And then I was like, oh, well, they would just get blacked. Well, the Nightmare fleet was too far off to kill them. So the only way that they were going to get blacked is if the dreads went back into siege and killed them. And at that point, they've reaggressed. And either way, you got your objective then, right? So I don't know why they didn't do it. I'm not an FC. I'm not the one to be asking about that crap. But that was one thing that came up during the stream yesterday that I was wondering why. And people kept telling me, oh, this, whatever. But all those reasons don't make sense whatsoever. So they easily left. If you look at the number of dreads, so they brought 17 Navy dreads and lost, what's that, 4? Yeah, so 13 of them got away. 5 faction Moros got away. 11 regular revs got away. You could have easily killed 3/4 of those by keeping them bubbled and keeping them pointed. But for whatever reason, they brought in a bunch of sabers. They were bubbled, no doubt, but bubbles do not stop you from docking. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, Cayman. That's the name of the Garista's Dread. Just came to me. So the other nearest dread were Cayman. So there you go. Let's see what's on this side. So most of the losses were strictly due to, on the PanFam side, the dread losses, obviously that was 100 bill right there. 28 Nightmares lost, so that's 63 bill. And then Vagabonds, 253 Vagabonds lost, so almost all the Vagabonds were lost. That was 66, 67 bill right there. The rest of it was just pretty much minor, but that was the bulk of the losses. And then for Winter Co., they racked up 16 bill with TFI losses, and the rest of it's just, meh, whatever. Not really. What did they lose total? Yeah, 28 bill total. So over half was battleships. Oh, if you count the Balgorns in there, that's 20 bill or 19. So that was, 2/3 of their losses right there were just those 25 battleships. On the initiative side, I know they lost quite a bit of hacks, but the sheet I was looking at during the fight, it didn't spread them out. So there was 50 Vagabonds, and I know they had some Eagle fleets. Maybe it was mostly these guys. Let's see. Munions, Eagles. Okay, yeah. So 188 Eagles lost for 34 billion, and 84 Sacks lost for another 23 billion. So, that's 57 billion just in the 270 hack losses. And what do you know? That was almost their entire right there. So 84 billion total, but 60 of it, or 57, 58 of it, was just due to hacks. And that's a good trade. Hacks are fairly cheap to build right now. You can build them quick, replace them. A lot easier than you can dreads or battleships, that's for sure. So that was definitely a good trade on their side. So by all metrics, the Initiative and the Imperium literally wiped the floor with PanFam and Winter Co. yesterday. So hats off to them. I am quite sure there will be many, 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 many more forts dropped in the near future. All right. So we covered the fight yesterday. Just looking at my notes here. How we doing on the giveaway? Okay, 5 minutes left on the giveaway. So exclamation point ticket to get an entry in for the Vedmak skin, exclamation point ticket. So let's see. Okay. Oh, first time chatters. Thank you very much for coming. So anyway, that's kind of where we are there. I want to cover something in game, go over a few things. Before we get to this real quick, let's see, where's contracts? Probably don't have it on this pilot. So we're going to go on a search, and we're going to look for anything and public, and we're going to start at 50,000 million, so 50 billion, and we are going to search for an auction. And what comes up? An Azariel auction. Would you look at this? So in game right now, someone was able to get enough LP to except for I don't have the game up. There we go. Someone was able to get enough LP to get an Azariel blueprint already. They put up an auction, and there's one bid so far for 1.1 trillion ISK. That will easily be the first one, and I'm sure that if you've built 1.1 trillion, you have someone on standby to build it for you. But that's the price for building the first one. There's a lot of speculation on this guy in that he basically put all his alts into faction warfare. He joined Angels on a different pilot and farmed his own pilots for the past week. Normally, I wouldn't say that's a money-making adventure. I think people were saying he used thoraxes to farm the LP. If you are only getting a couple $100 billion for this BPC, it's like $300 billion just to buy it, then a little premium or something. I don't know that farming your own ships, I haven't done the math, but I don't know that that's necessarily worth it. However, if you're getting a premium like 1.1 trillion, then I'm almost certain it is worth it to farm your own stuff and get the LP. So, Valimar, there is no spirit of the game, buddy. Spirit of the game is make ISK and find the gray areas and work in it. So that's exactly what he did. Straight 6, I would imagine the number of ships that he would need to do this, he was probably planning this and doing it for months, preparing for this exact situation. Yeah, now, great, and this is something that you can only probably do a couple times. Once the price goes from 1.1 trillion to the second one is maybe 600 billion, that's maybe worth it. And then 2 or 3 of them get bought after that, and then you have a price war, and then they start selling for 400, 450. Then the math just doesn't work out for that anymore. But this guy had a plan, he executed it, and he's going to get paid, and my hats are off to him. Good job, sir, or ma'am, whatever you happen to be. So, yep, EVE players are different. Yep, hey, if there's an edge somewhere, they will work it out, find it out, and play that edge till the end of the. Yep. I don't want to get into it too much, but this was definitely talked about during meetings. Math was done on the CCP side, I can say that. And, you can't account for someone paying 1.1 trillion. You definitely can't balance for that. So I didn't assume anyone's gender. I said he, she, or whatever. So there you go. And yeah, I'm not going to be bidding on that. Okay, now to the cool stuff. Let me make this a little bit, crud zone. I wanted to make that bigger and not get away. I guess I'm going to drag it to make it bigger. All right, so here we go. This is currently the Garistas map, okay? The way this works, the yellow bubbles signify corruption. The white bubbles signify suppression. So if you have a system with a big yellow bubble and a small white bubble, that is corruption 5, but suppression 0. Okay, so that system's fully corrupted. It is high sec. This is a 0.6 system. So anybody that had anything in this system, the pirates can now come in, kill any Citadel, any Poco, anything without a war deck, and Concord will not respond in any way, shape, or form unless someone that is not at war is potted. So if a Garistas pirate goes into this system and kills a Caldari militia pilot and pods them, no Concord. Yes, if this is intended, it was put out in the patch notes. We talked about it earlier in the show. Now, Vasilov, okay, yes, I figured this would come up. For any of you that have been around long enough, this is the same exact thing that Goons did, and I think 3 Goons got banned for it. The difference is, before the Goons did it, they rigged the market to increase the price of something artificially, and then loaded their ships up with it and killed the ships. What they got in trouble for was manipulating the market. So now this guy did it. He didn't manipulate the market. He took the market as is, and just killed his ships. It's no different than insurance fraud at this point, right? But if you manipulate the in-game price of something and then did it, that would be where the line gets crossed. All right. So anyway, so anything in this system right here, as long as a pirate does not pod a non-militia player, Concord will not respond whatsoever, and they can kill every structure in the system. All right. So like this system here, if you look, it is Corruption 2, Suppression Stage 3. So if you look at, let's see, does it give the bonuses somewhere if you mouse over maybe? No. I think once you hit Corruption 3, that's when, or Suppression 3, that's when Corruption goes 20% slower. So it may be a little harder for the pirates to take hold in this system. Same thing for this system right here. So, oh, they're 2 and 2, so they're neck and neck in that system. Let's see here. No, it doesn't really say. Oh, so the progress, the FOB is at level 5 right now. Let's see, it doesn't really say. Okay, so now we'll go over to the Angel, and you notice here that there's quite a few big white circles. So the faction warfare folks are doing pretty good at holding these guys off. Now, if you look at Angel, which is where most things are focused because of the Titan BPC on the line, so you notice there's only one system with a small white circle. Everything else is just giant yellow circles where the pirates had just overrun everything, just trying to get as much as LP as possible. And this one also did spread to high sect. So anybody that had anything in Audern, same thing. Pirates can come in. And also this system too, except for that's only stage 2 right now. So you can't do anything there yet. But this one's Corruption Stage 5. So anything in that system can absolutely be killed with no Conquered involvement whatsoever. All right. Oh, looks like the giveaway is about over. Last chance. Let's see. Yeah, trading is about manipulating the market. That's not what I'm talking about. What they did was they were putting up specific buy orders and stuff, buying them themselves, and making the average price in game change. And then they used the new price that they manipulated in game to get themselves more LP. So, what do you do for type of giveaway? This is for a Vedmax skin. So exclamation point ticket. Yeah, straight 6, you would call it smart, but there's specific things in the EULA where you're not allowed to do that. So they are in the, some, I don't know. This was many, many, many years ago. So anyway, I'm going to close the giveaway in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, closed, and draw a winner. Finally here, 2016. You need to either whisper me or DM me on Discord or put your in-game name in chat so I know who to send the skin to. I'll give you a couple minutes. Finally here, 2016. I'll put 2 minutes on my timer here. If he doesn't respond, I will draw another winner. Let me ping him so that he sees it. Finally here. All right. So anyway, that's how the systems are going. Right now, by all accounts, I would say that CCP is probably extremely happy with participation so far. I do a Wednesday night show, shameless self-plug, do a Wednesday night show where I started a new player. I've been in faction warfare for a little bit now, and you know, pretty much getting my butt handed to me because I have like 7 million hit point or 7 million skill points, and barely can fly a Tech 1 or Tech 2 fit frigate. But nevertheless, I give it my all. If I start doing pirates, I tried it a little bit. It did not go well. If I start to do the pirate thing, I have a different pilot with a, you know, a couple 100 million skill points that I'll actually be able to compete with, and that's what I'll do those with. I don't know that I'll do it on the Wednesday show. I'll probably still keep the Wednesday show a new player, but maybe we can have a Friday night or something where I do some pirate stuff. All right, let's see. Still nothing from that guy. Let's see, I got no DMs. Finally here, 2016. He's still here. All right, he's got 16 seconds left or I draw a new winner. Finally here, 2016. Anything? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay, draw another winner. J75. J75, are you here? Let's see. Okay, J75 has 2 minutes. Okay, J75 is here. Unfortunately, okay, there we go. Oh, we got the Eve to Twit. Oh, it works. Outstanding. That bot was not working for us for the in-game name. All right, congratulations, J75, on your Vedmax skin. And the way this works is I'll put it in our private Discord, and one of our guys will contract that to you in-game in Jita. So it may take him a little bit. I'm not sure if he's around. I haven't seen him in chat. So congratulations on that. And look at that. We're pretty much out of time. I like to keep this show right around an hour. Keeps it short and sweet for everybody. And let me check my notes here. Got my pencil because I was out in the shop woodworking. Came in here to do the show real quick. See, we talked about the pirates, the systems, Havoc, the 7 days free. Make sure we're down to 17 hours left. Make sure you claim your free 7 days. Talked about the Azrael BPC. Talked about the fight yesterday. Yep, I think that was it. So you guys are caught up for news for the week. And let's see here. Let me close this. Thanks to everybody for coming. Also, too, the like, follow, subscribe if you want to. You know, I think it's kind of crazy. People actually paying money to see my dumbass up here talking to you for an hour. But, yep, there we go. And I will, let's see if I can find a cool place to raid us over to in the meantime. But thank you guys for coming. And let's see, stop that timer. Thank you guys for coming. And I will play the ending credits and then raid us over. Thanks. Have a great day.